Hey, crypto pirates, welcome to your Discourse Syndicate. I'm Captain RG3 here on a big all-time high day. All-time high day. We are in an all-time high day. Yeah, baby. Yes, this is awesome. It's a great time to be a Hexican. So embarrassing to be a Bitcoiner, but a great time to be a Hexican. That's all I can say. So let me say hello to everybody. So yes, everybody, I'm a little bit late. Mom just pulled in. My mom's coming to visit for the next couple weeks. First time since we lost dad. So I got a sister here, mom, another 4-year-old nephew along with mine. So yeah, got the family in right now. So spent a few minutes with mom before I did the stream. I was going to cancel, but I didn't cancel on you guys today. I am doing the stream. I will not be here Friday, but you guys can handle the FN Hangout without the captain. That's for sure. Just make it a mutiny day. Have fun with the ship. So David Morales first in. What's happening? David Morales, Bob Saget, Marcavelli. Oh, look, KNTX is up. What's he doing? Must be eating sloppy joes. Maybe he doesn't know how to start the stream. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. Anyway, what's up, Dangerously Stupid? My soul is prepared. Yes, the pulse plank. Gosh, look at KNTX won't shut up in here. Look at this. Look at KNTX. What's happening? Sandy, Brasology, my homie, what's up, dude? Northernmost Hexer. Hey, where are you at, Northernmost Hexer? How far north are you actually? COG. Yo, bro. Let's see. D'Artagnan 8, how you doing, buddy? Yes, smash the likes when you walk in. Do it right away. ISO Serenity, nice tag there. Hex Machina, what's happening? What's up? What's up? Who else is in here? Yes. Thank you. Franklin Saint Hex, what's up, bro? Haven't seen you for a little bit. I know you pop in every once in a while, but anyway, just hope everything's well, man. Crypto CPT, yes, everything's good, man. Everything's good. Flames, who else is in here? Oh man, right on. Hex Monkey, good to see you, man. His nipples are hard. That's nice. Glad I can help you with that. Billy Boy Crypto, ahoy to you too. Crypto Tolar. Yeah, okay. Man, and Colin Campbell, Identity Block, Dan Emmons. Make sure you got your eyes on the road, Dan. I know you're out there driving, more than likely. And then A's Holer, what's up? Ahoy, everybody, and welcome. We're going to have a guest on. He's getting his stuff ready. Just texted me. For all of you who don't know who he is, Jenkins is one of our Hexican charters, and I'm excited to bring him on, talk to him, learn a little bit about charting. You know, maybe I can teach him a few things about charting. We'll pull up and analyze the captain's charts and see how they match up with his. But I'll tell you what, whenever I've charted, we've had all-time highs. So I think we have just as good a record as all the smart chart boys. So I'm just gonna rely on my charting skills. But anyway, let's see. I heard that, yeah, so D'Artagnan says this. He said, we had a dude in the voice chat that asked about Hex and claimed to be from OKEX. It's okay. It's spelled different, I think. Anyway, exchange. I showed him to Richard. They spoke privately. He sounded like he seemed very legit. Yeah, I think OKEX is what it is. OKX. And yeah, Richard mentioned on his stream today that he actually met with the guy and talked to him. So that is awesome. And on top of it, Richard has been talking about Maxie's talking to him. On top of that news, I've been talking to Nerd Girl, our very own Nerd Girl, who has a very, very good connections within the space. And she's getting a lot of positive feedback about Pulsechain and different attitudes towards Hex. So guys, it's starting, man. It is starting to change. The tides, the winds of change are coming. And Hex is definitely on everybody's lips and everybody's mind, and all eyes are upon it. So people are watching what's going on. And what's really exciting is, and the dirty old captain has been saying it for over a year since we've been starting here, the fundamentals of Hex, the chart itself, the macroeconomics are as healthy as anything I've ever seen. Because of that alone, I don't need to know all the Fibonacci, this, that, and the other line retracement flags, max D stuff. And I don't need to know all that stuff. Why? Because I can look at the chart and know that it is healthy just by seeing how it's going up and to the right constantly with positive retracements or dips. People are selling their Hex, they're taking their profits, and people are buying it back up in a very, very healthy manner. And that's what I love seeing about Hex. Do the dips bother me watching, yeah, we're going up, and then somebody sells, and then we're going up. The beautiful thing is we're dipping higher, and we're moving up higher every single time. So we're moving in the right directions. So anyway, just letting you guys know that it is healthy. And with that, I'm going to bring up our buddy Jenkins, because he really understands this stuff in depth. And I really like listening to, I can talk all the shit I want, but I really like listening to the chart guys, like looks into crypto. Who else do we have out there? Motley and those guys, they do all of their show on the charts. Wales is freaking phenomenal on the charts. Jerdog, even all the other crypto guys out there that are talking about Hex, they're FOMOing on the chart now. They're slobbering all over it. So I'm going to bring up our Hexican, our charting streamer extraordinaire, who, by the way, we'll make a little announcement here in a minute, but he's going to be streaming with us on the DS network, baby. He's going to be coming to us, I do believe, on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. He's going to come hang out with us. So anyway, we'll bring up our Hex streamer and chart master, Jenkins. What's happening, bro? Do we have you? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. What's up, RG? RG, can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. Good to have you on. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. That was quite the intro. I was like, wow, you must think highly of me. I appreciate that.
No, I do. I've been watching your streams, all of your streams. And hold on a second, I got to turn this fan on. I don't have my fan on, and it's hot as hell in here.
Do what you got to do.
There we go. Yeah, man. I make fun of all the chart guys, only because I make fun of trading, and I make fun of short views and predictions of short trading cycles, because, and we'll talk about it, I'm sure, during the stream. I know that the charts reflect behaviors, and usually those behaviors repeat themselves in cycles, and that's how you guys read the tea leaves in the charts and stuff. But at any given time, somebody's behavior can change that whole chart or make things different than what everybody was expecting. A lot of times they're predictable, but sometimes they're just not. So that's why I always say, and careful with the charts, especially if you're a day trader. One of these days, it's going to bite you in the ass. Everybody's a master in the bull market, but when the bear market cometh, everybody runs to the freaking, like, scatters like roaches, and the lights come on.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I watch your stuff, and I when I see people who look at macroeconomics and look at the health of a chart and show me it from beginning to end, and show, like, hey, there was this section here and this is what was going on, and now looks like we're running into that again. I like seeing people talk about cycles and talk about macroeconomics. So that's why I've really appreciated your streams, because you do that. You don't just talk, the daily EMAs and the MACD is up and this and that, and it's time for the trade. It's time for the trade. I'd get in right here and get out right here kind of shit,
Yeah.
You didn't do that. So that's why I continued to watch your stuff. And I do think you've got a great stream, man.
I appreciate that. And yeah, no, I definitely agree with you too when it comes to trading. I've learned my charts from trading over the years, but like you said, it creates those destructive thought patterns. A lot of emotions get tied into it. It's just not a healthy thing, a healthy habit for mentally. So I'm not a trader because of that, but it's just cool looking at the chart, just seeing the waves and how it moves. It's almost like watching a basketball game to an extent. You're kind of watching Hex start the game in the first quarter at 0. That final price wants to hit like 100 points or $1 or whatever that is. It's like watching it. It's exciting. It's entertainment, and just seeing it along the way. Like you can just kind of be like, oh man, we kind of know when that next wave is up, especially in Hex,
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with you when it comes to the trading, but yeah, Hex is it's a different beauty. The chart's just beautiful. It's fun to watch first and foremost, and it's obviously fun to profit on too as it goes up.
Oh yeah, especially if you're just holding. It's like it's like Christmas every week or something.
It's
you
that
do
simple.
all-time high. But I like your analogy there of a basketball game, because in a basketball game, you see everything's ebbing and flowing, and up and down the team, and then all of a sudden you see it catch momentum. And at that point, everything fires up, man. The crowd fires up, the team fires up. They just get on a roll, they get in the zone. And that's kind of what happens when we see our chart start to move like it's been moving lately. It's been like, oh, there we go, and then we just see it keep piling up, and the score keeps getting higher and higher and higher. It's exciting, man. It's really exciting. It's addicting too.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And I think the sentiment's at an all-time high right now in Hex. Like just seeing what happened this morning after we just finally broke that all-time high, just to think what these next few days potentially hold. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff in this chart. I can't wait to look at it with you and just see everything that's going on, because it's just a great time to be part of Hex, and it's still early for the people that are trying to get in. Like there's very bright times ahead of us.
So let's go back before we look at your chart and get into that, which I'm dying to do. Let's go back and talk about your entry into Hex. What got you interested in it? Why did you start streaming? Kind of your crypto background. Who are you? Where you come from, man?
Yeah. So, Jenkins, Chicago, always been Chicago my whole life, as of right now. So I've been trading probably like 6 to 7 years total. I really started taking it serious, like full time. Well, I was trading, let's put it that way. I started taking it serious full time, probably like 2018 to like 2020-ish. And then once that COVID dip just kind of ruined all the markets, everything, all the technicals just went to, there's no technical that could have saved a lot of people in those times. And it was just so hard, and that kind of ruined a lot. And that was kind of like my final straw, because you can make a lot of money in trading or lose a lot of money. If you do it enough, you will lose at one point. And I always tell people you can make as much profit as you want, but that's not going to relieve the pain of those big losses that come along with it. It's just not fun, the liquidations and everything, the scam wicks. You see like the institutions kind of get in and liquidate people just to get their entry price. It's not a fun thing to be a part of, but trading Forex was my big thing. That transitioned to trading cryptos initially, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, like the bigger coins, back when Bitcoin was, a few thousand, definitely less than 10, Ethereum under $100 and stuff like that. And then I just realized, instead of trading it, if I just were to put my money into buying coins like that and just holding, I saw the appreciation. And then the investing of crypto kind of started shifting my portfolio, owning coins as opposed to trading coins. I started seeing more steady growth. And then that got me into just, Ethereum is cool in itself. What's on the Ethereum network? I actually have one of my friends he's my best resource when it comes to crypto. He's a crypto nerd. He sends me a lot of coins all the time. Hex happened to be one of them. And I didn't believe it at first, because out of every 10 coins I would get, I'm like, okay, they're probably all shit coins, or whatnot. But I looked into Hex, came across Richard Hart, and I was like, okay, this guy knows something. He was the first crypto person I watched just talk and just fully understand the blockchain he educates you just by talking normally. And I was like, okay, this guy knows a lot. And then I tied it into what his project was, looked at the code and the contracts and everything. And I was like, wow, like this Hex invention really addresses every issue that crypto has, you know? And I'm not like a biased dude. I'm just like, I'm a normal guy like everyone that's watching, you know? I'm just trying to do what's the best for myself. And Hex is literally that. It's meant for the people that are trying to, you know, actually use cryptocurrency to invest money and actually get money in return. Because even if the charts aren't moving up, you're still getting paid interest the same way you are at a bank, you know, with a CD. We all know how that goes. But yeah, I came across Hex, really just saw the difference in Hex compared to the rest of the crypto blockchain, the crypto universe. And then from that moment on, all my portfolio slowly started going down everywhere else, all into Hex. I just watered nothing but that plant, and it has been the best decision of my life so far. So it's happening faster than I would expected, probably for all of us. But I mean, you know, like 1 penny was the pipe dream for us. Now we're doing pennies daily almost. So I can't imagine what's around the corner, but it's a really good thing. But yeah, that's kind of where I've came from and where I'm at now. And like you asked to get into streaming, like I do this all the time anyways. Every day I figure if I just throw a camera on myself, maybe some things I can say can help other people that are in my position at once, you know? And that's where we're at now.
Did you trade before crypto, or did you start turning into a trader as you got into crypto?
No, I was trading way before crypto. So crypto was out, don't get me wrong, but I was trading Forex. I think it started in 2015, 2016-ish. Big time Forex. I was doing, you know, the indices, like the US indices, gold and stuff like that. You know, those random pairs like GBP, USD, all that fun stuff. And then, yeah, the cryptos, I just saw how they're so much more volatile, you know, and those are fun to trade when you won them trades, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, I never was really a trader. I was an attempted opportunist. I attempted to make all of my crypto insights opportunities, and they never came to fruition. You know, I was just trading on the news and the whims and the rooms that I was in and those kinds of things, and it just never worked out. And you know, you get into crypto and you hear people talking about all the things that it can be. And so I think that smart people, enlightened people kind of get attracted to that message. And we go, oh, hell yeah, get away from the banks, get away from the government, take care of my own money, you know, no custodians, everything's mine, you know, and then power of the people kind of thing when it comes to the money. And then you get into crypto, back then anyway, you get jaded. You're just like, well, wait a minute. I'm just on the other side of this computer screen, hoping to screw somebody else out of their money, you know, and I'm going to try and front run them and get as many coins as cheap as I can so I could dump it on them when they pump the price and that kind of shit. And then you just slowly, without realizing it, you've turned into a degenerate gambler.
You know? That's really what it is.
And then you think, because you're in the middle of a bull run or something. So then I was doing all that stuff, and then the bull run started in 16, 17, and you think, oh, okay, well, now I need to hone my skills, so I'm going to take a trading course. I'm going to learn how to read charts and do all this kind of stuff. So you pay for that training course, you buy the charts and stuff and all the training equipment and gear, and you get yourself some accounts, and then the bull market goes away, and everyone's a master of this stuff in the bull market, no matter how noob you are to it. You know, you've got your screens going and you've got all your charts running, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to get this today. Looks great, you know, and because the damn thing is everybody's coin, every piece of shit is going up at that time. It's like you think you're a master, and then all of a sudden when 2018 comes and everything hits the skids, it's like all your skills you never had go out the window. Exactly. And you realize that what a degenerate you were, and you realize that you got what you deserved, and it doesn't feel any better, but you just come to that realization and you're like, shit, man, that was me, and I was ready to get out of crypto. And then, like you said, then we start listening to somebody like Richard. Finally, a voice in the wilderness kind of says, over here, over here. And you're like, really, man? Are you really going to do it? Are you really going to do what you say you're going to do? Because everybody else said they were going to do it, you know? And son of a bitch, he did, man.
He did it. And
son of a bitch.
There's something about Richard Hart. I mean, I know the big thing with Hex at the beginning was like, oh, scam this and scam that. Don't trust Richard Hart. But it's like, if you just listen to the man talk for 30 minutes of your life, just hear him talk about a lot of different things, you can tell like when someone's authentic and genuine about, you can tell when somebody knows what they're talking about specifically. And you can tell when people try to, you know, act like they know what they're talking about. He's just one of those guys. He just knows what he's doing. And yeah, I just think any smart person just has to listen to the man to understand that, you know. I wouldn't say smart person, but any just normal person, you know. It didn't take much. Once I heard Richard Hart and I just looked really into the details of Hex, I was like, okay, this is like it's flashing at us the opportunity. I just wish I got in earlier. I wasn't a day one Hexican. I wish I was. Oh my God. Like all you guys, I wish I was, but we have the Pulsechain project coming around the corner, so we're still good. And Hex is still very early, but I got in at a very, very good price. So I'm still happy, but yeah, it's just something totally different.
It is, and to have been involved with it from the beginning, and to watch it grow and watch where it is today, is, I know it's giving all of us streamers, all of us, you know, OGs that have been around for a long time in Hex since the beginning, it's given us a confidence because it's the undisputed heavyweight champion of crypto now, undisputed.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is look at that chart that Richard posted today, and it's like, hey, even in the biggest bull run that Bitcoin has ever had, we crushed them. We launched and crushed them.
Way quicker.
As they're going into the bear market, we're crushing them. Still.
Oh man, yeah. Comparing Hex right now today to every other chart right now today, I posted a video on my Twitter for the people that saw it, and it's just like, man, everything is down, you know, 30, 40, 50%. All the Bitcoins, and Hex is just breaking all-time highs, and it's like it's really doing what we all thought it could do. Like it's time to put up or shut up, and Hex is literally putting up, and it doesn't cease to amaze me. Like I'm just amazed every time. Once you see Hex do something like, wow, Hex really did that, then it does something even better. You know, it just keeps happening and happening. So it's just it's crazy. And like I said, the sentiment's at an all-time high. If people weren't believers then, the first 1,000,000 times that Hex kind of outperformed our skepticism, there's no way you can question it now at this point. And like I said, it's still early for the people that want to get in. It's still early, and the opportunity's still there. Those T-shares and everything, yeah, the price is way up, but those T-shares, you can still get your hand on a good chunk of T-shares, stake them long with a decent chunk of money. So it just makes so much sense. It's like, that's why I'm here today. I'm not an OG streamer like how you guys are. Like I've been doing this for a while, just not on social media or whatnot. But like that's why, like I'm here now. I feel like I'm kind of a voice for the people that aren't day one OGs, that don't want that might feel like it's too late, but it's not too late. And I'm kind of like that example. Like just get in, you know, just get in and stop doing what you're doing in crypto if it's not, you know, just buying and holding something like X.
Yeah, no. I think that, you know, when we speak a lot here on this channel, and I'm trying to change the narrative, and I've spoke to a lot of OG Hexicans and Hexicans period about this, and it's about unit bias. You know, we're talking T-shares right now, and mark my words, this is going to be a historical moment right this second as I say this. T-shares are going to be a thing of the past. There is going to be B shares, and there is going to be M shares, and T-shares will be unattainable to the normal average human being. And there will just be too damn expensive for somebody to get in. They will be the price of a Bitcoin. You know, they'll be up there in the you know, $25,000, $35,000, $45,000 range. So it's going to be B shares. It's going to be M shares. So those of you who are in now that even can obtain a T share, you know, you're still getting in early because it is going to become M shares. And we know that because the charts show what it was designed to do. And I know Whale says this all the time, guys, it's designed to do this. This chart isn't an emotional chart. This chart is by design. The share rate, the share price is by design. This thing is happening on the curve that it was supposed to happen on. And look what happens at year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at what happens to the share price at that point. 5 years from now, we won't be talking about T-shares. Damn sure won't be. 7 years, 10 years from now, we won't be talking about M shares or B shares. It'll be M shares. So what I'm saying is that the chart is showing that there is exponential growth in the share rate that is about to happen, that we're going to see over the next few years. And you are in year, you know, 1, 2. I mean, this is the beginning of this thing.
Yeah.
and Hex is undisputed. You can't stop it, and you can't beat it. They cannot beat it. Ethereum is pushing itself out another year for 2.0. They just announced. So Pulse is going to eat that lunch too.
Man, like this is just like right here, right now. Like it's weird because it's like this is an opportunity to maximize now. But if you think about like Hex is already almost going to be 2 years old by the end of the year. It's been like a 2 year window, but it feels like it's just been a couple months, you know. And then Pulsechain, we're going to remember the sacrifice. I mean, before the sacrifice phase, we'll remember the sacrifice phase. Then the first year and a half is going to fly by, just like how Hex did. So it's like this opportunity is just. It's crazy. It's really an opportunity for people out there like us that aren't, you know, big time rich people like in the corporations or whatnot. People like us to truly get into crypto and maximize the way that it was originally designed to do before all the bad people got their hands on everything. Like this is the opportunity here. And like you said, yeah, I think the talk about Hex and the price appreciation, people like you can't deny that. You look at the chart and it is what it is, you know. But yeah, the focus is really, and it should have been it's always been the focus, but the T shares, like you said. And then the M shares or whatnot, you know, or the B shares, M shares. And then eventually, who knows, one day T shares will go all the way back down to being T shares in the thousands. Who knows what they're going to call those? But yeah, the T shares, yeah, like
1,000 shares, yeah.
1,000 shares.
They'll be calling them T shares again. Well, the T shares used to be trillion shares, believe it or not. There's actually people out there that have trillion shares, not 1,000 shares.
Or like a TH share for like 1,000, but it'll get there eventually. It's just a matter of time. Who knows how quick, but yeah, it's just like the opportunity is still here. Like this is just massive. And it's like while we're here, and even if like you don't have to just put in your whole life into this, but for the people that, you know, are just like working jobs and they're just not so fully satisfied with where they're at or don't really know where they're going, they don't really see that bright light when they look in the future, just putting a little bit of money, this is not financial advice, but putting a little bit of money into Hex and just getting some T shares, stake it for 15 years. You just have one thing to look forward to in 15 years. If there's nothing else going in life, just that little spark of inspiration can change a lot of other things in your life really fast, you know? So that also contributes to just the overall, it could be a better change of life, you know, the way of life, what I'm saying. But yeah, there's just, it's a very optimistic moment. And the sentiment's at an all-time high, and just the opportunity is just as real as it gets. And I feel like you just can't deny that anymore with seeing Hex.
You can't. I like that. Uncle Kevin says K shares. Yeah, that could be 1,000. We'll call them K shares. But yeah, I mean, if you go all the way back in our stream, our first streams, we brought Dev Kyle on, and the way the shares, I'm not a mathematician by no means. I mean, I'm horrible with numbers. But when I first saw Hex and I started looking into it and I started realizing that the share price only goes up and that it was reverse compounding, basically the way Richard had set it up. And I thought, wow, man, that's brilliant. And I need to understand that more because that's what's important. So I got a hold of Dev Kyle and we got him on the stream and he explained shares to it. And my mind just went, and I said, that's what the community needs to be focusing on is the shares, is the T shares. Because at that moment, from that moment on, all I did was try and accumulate as much Hex as I could to build as many T shares as I could, because I wanted as many of those damn things as I could get. And that's what I did. I built my strategy in Hex was to get as many shares as possible. Until now, I've had no liquid Hex. Before Big Payday, everything got staked out beyond. I emergency unstaked stakes that were coming out in early this year. I emergency unstaked them and threw them out. I literally gained an extra 1/3 T shares on my whole pile of T shares based on, because at first when we all got in, it was like, well, hell yeah, man, this thing's gonna go to a penny or a nickel. I'm going to cash out year one. Hell yeah, man. I'm going to make some money off of this thing. Cause that was the old stinking thinking, right? That was the old trader mentality, the old crypto mentality we had. It's like, yeah, I can wait. I can give a year's gratification to this thing to launch. Cause we all saw EOS and everything. So we're like, yeah, okay. It could go up. It could go up in a year and probably we'll see a bull market, you know, with Bitcoin, and we'll go up too with them. You know, that was the early thought process. And then as we staked out and we started getting involved and we started understanding what the shares were all about, and then we started understanding what Richard had really done here, we were like, I mean, my realization was like, I fucked up. I really fucked up. And as soon as I hit my principal mark on those stakes, I was pulling them motherfuckers out and staking them out as far as I could and laddering them out and making them work in my behalf. And I started telling people that that's what you need to do. You need to start thinking about how many shares are you gathering, because Hex is one thing. Hex is, if you got Hex, it's always going to go up in price. It's always going to go up. I mean, it eventually it will go up like all charts do. You know, it's going to eventually go up because there's value in Hex.
Of course.
There's a lot of value in Hex. There's a lot of different pumpamentals and things that Richard has built into it that tells you it's going to gain as much value as any other good crypto has. And we've seen that. Nothing but going up. Bitcoin has done nothing but go up. Ethereum has done nothing but go up. They've all gone up. Just like Berkshire Hathaway has gone up and the Dow has gone up. All these things have done nothing but go up. Do they correct? Yes, but then they go back up again. So long term, I knew that was what was going to happen. But if you have the opportunity to gather more of what you have, nothing like that exists anywhere. There is nothing that's tradable that grows like that. Nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing that matches it. Too, I just think that for people that don't understand it too with the T shares, it's like, say you have roughly, I'll say, make a conservative estimate. Let's say you have like 100 T shares, you're probably getting paid like maybe 500-600 Hex a day. Let's just safely say 500. And that's, if you say you stake that for 15 years, people have to understand, like, if Hex is at a penny, yeah, you're getting paid, you know, was that $50 a day or whatnot. But when Hex is at $1, you're getting 500 a day. That's $500 a day. Like, there's not jobs that pay that on a 40-hour week. So just because you're getting paid maybe $50, and this Hex is way past a penny, but just to keep it simple. But say you start off getting paid 50 cents or $5 a day or whatever, and then that turns into $500 a day. Like, just because it's $5 or $50 a day today, you can still in your mind tell yourself, like, no, I'm really getting paid 500 a day. It just doesn't say that yet. But once the price goes up, the price of what I already got paid goes up with that. Plus, it's continuously paying me that. And then when it's more than $1, it's like, that is a job. That's more than a job's income. No one's going to hire you and pay you that money ever in this world. No matter how far you go into college, you can have the best job in the world. It's not going to touch something like that.
And that's your past interest that you've made too. So like, for instance, like you said, you're making those 50 Hex a day, right? So today you're making that 50 Hex, and that 50 Hex goes into your wallet. And that 50 Hex, 10 years, 15 years from now, when the price does go, let's say 10 or 15 years from now, the price does go to 50 cents or $1. And I'm being very, very conservative with it because I hate throwing prices out there.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's at $1. But every 50 of those coins you got at a nickel, all of those coins you got at a nickel are now worth $1 or worth 50 cents. So you gain them, you've held them, and now they get the gains. And Bitcoiners that sold early, Bitcoiners that got in early and sold, they didn't get that. They didn't get to hold their value, gain more of the crypto that they want, hold the value, and then the value go up on them with them being forced to hold them.
And you know what's crazy too? What's going to happen eventually in Hex, when it gets to $1, people are going to understand and comprehend the system. Oh, if I get my hand on M shares or B shares or TH 1,000 shares, I'm getting paid dollars per day by just putting my money in there, because now it equates $1 that they put in and $1 they're getting paid. And that alone, that flood of money, once it becomes mainstream or the awareness truly spreads and is comprehensible, it's going to blow way past that. And the people that are still in today and even earlier, it's like, we're just really fattening our bags on top of our T shares that are still 15 years down the line if you stake them that long, you know?
The tool that this provides to the general public is astonishing, because, you know, in my lifetime, I seen industry and businesses go from the pension plan system to the 401k system.
Yeah.
And so I was in the middle of all that when it was switching over and everybody was going to 401ks. And even if you do put a 401k in and you get a match from your employer, a one-time match or whatever 6% they give you or whatever percentage they give you, half of it, that's the only gain you ever get of the share of that 401k. Every time you put something in and your employer matches you, that's the only time you ever get a match on that share. Now, Hex is constantly giving you a match on your share every single day for 15 years. You're getting a match on your share, a percentage match on your share every single day. And then as the value of that rises, which is the only thing you really get in a 401k, you start to see exponential gains versus the value of a 401k. I mean, the potential of this product in the real world as a real world use case. And when they find out, when people like who are smarter than Michael Saylor figure this out, who have money to put in and instead of waste money on dilapidated technologies, that's when the realization of what Hex is all about is going to be found. And then people are going to be like, I don't think people realize how high Hex can go.
Yeah, and I think, like you said too, it's just like it just takes awareness, and we got to keep in mind, like Bitcoin, say, started roughly 2010-ish. It's 2020, 2021 is when it really like got mainstream. If it took Bitcoin 10 years to kind of get to just the general mass public, just think about like pouring that water at the top of like, a tunnel, and it's slowly trickling down. People are starting to get to Ethereum, and then all those coins are slowly going to gain awareness. It could take 5-10 years for something for people to get awareness on Hex. It might take us getting to $1 for people to start understanding Hex, and really seeing the value of it, because that's just how people are. It's at least like the majority, So it's just a matter of time and awareness. So, and that's the beautiful thing of it. But even with all the gatekeeping and everything that's going on now, like Hex is still spreading like a wildfire in terms of awareness that people are buying it. The charts is going up like crazy. The T-shares are still a very good value. I think the approach we got to take is, we all understand right now, like the people that didn't invest, what they missed out on, what the price was, what we could have got for our money, months or years, or like a year and a half ago at Hex.
Yeah.
The approach is still what we can still get, because we can still get a ton compared to what it's gonna be when we hit those extremes one day,
Yeah.
So it's still it's a great opportunity, and it's still early.
It's still early, and year one stuff, 60-cent T-shares and all that kind of stuff. That's black swan shit. I mean, that's like you not only did you were in the right place at the right time, you got lucky, and you did your research and you stuck to it and all that kind of, like all of the stars aligned for the people that got in good on year one. I mean, that's just a black swan event. It happens, in everything that's successful. So that you can't. People can't sour grape on that or think that they missed out, because they didn't. We're literally, like you said, in year one, and there hasn't even been adoption of Ethereum yet.
Yeah.
There hasn't been mass adoption of Ethereum yet. Now, crypto has, I think, stepped its foot into mainstream and said, we're here to stay. All the mainstream, what do you call it? Currency channels / financial channels / financial shows, all that stuff. They're talking about cryptocurrency like it's serious now. Last bull run, it was a anomaly. It was, well, we still think that that's a very risky, scammy kind of thing. You might want to stay away from it. But yes, people are making money, and it's really amazing that it's gone up to $20,000. So that's the way they were talking then. Now they're talking strategies. They're talking funds. Now they're talking, the JPs and all of these people getting into the crypto space. All of the serious banks actually starting to move in and make paper Bitcoins and all that kind of stuff. So it's changed. The narrative changed, and it's changing, and it's going to change on the next, bull run. And we're going to start seeing things are going to start to move faster, I think. Like Hex is probably going to get quicker adoption than Bitcoin did. It took Bitcoin all these years to get to where it's at now. I think Hex is going to see a hyper inflated, time chart when it comes to its growth. It's going to be a lot, and hyper expansion, I should say, to its growth versus how Bitcoin. I think it's going to move the same as Bitcoin, but it's going to do it faster.
And that's a very good point. I do agree, actually. Yeah, if you come from that perspective, because Bitcoin, whether people like it or not, we know it's here to stay. At least crypto is. So Bitcoin's been like is that pioneer for all of us. But I just think with everything you said, that's true. Like the potential of people just finding out about it at this point and how fast it can really happen. It's scary to think about.
So let's put our two minds together, because I look at it from a historical point of view. I look at it from a macroeconomics point of view, and from knowing people and knowing markets and seeing how things move. And I've done well out here in the California real estate market, and in life in general, just because I've just played the trends and played the cycles and tried to put myself in good positions and always kept hustling, always kept moving. So I understand that that's what's happening. What are the charts saying about that? Because what I just said was, I think Hex is moving faster than Bitcoin when Bitcoin first came out. Now, when you look at Bitcoin's historical chart and you look at Hex's historical chart, does that sound true to you?
Yeah, it definitely does. It's first, I would say safely, it's on pace. And it's just, yeah, like I said, Bitcoin paved the path. Hex is really taking that and just accelerating. Bitcoin drove like that old first Model T through the path, and Hex is coming in on a nice Lamborghini through the path at 180 miles per hour. So I would say it's definitely true. And the sky's the limit. You got to think, because like Bitcoin's not even at its ultimate top. Yeah, we might be topped off for a while now, but it's eventually going to go up, and who knows where Bitcoin can get to. That number can still go high too. But yeah, I definitely think in the next 3 to 5 years, we might be just talking realistically, like where Bitcoin's at in the top 5. There's gonna be a big juggle going on.
Yeah.
I think like Hex, Ripple, or Hex XRP and Doge are like 6, 7, 8 right now. Last time I checked, they're all within probably like 8 billion of market cap of each other. Like Hex will flip them. There's a chance. I was looking at it today. I really do think Hex could crack top 5 by the end of the year, and that's being conservative, because I know that sounds slow when you talk to the Hex community, because people are mad bullish on it, and I am too. But when I'm just trying to be like that safe, conservative kind of person, it's still hard not to consider like Hex getting to the top 5. And just that alone in the next 6 months is a big accomplishment in my mind. But yeah, and eventually, yeah, I think there's going to be a few, I would say safely, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hex are going to be in that top 5 we're talking about, juggling around, I don't know what the other 2 coins might be, but yeah, it's definitely, they're all going to reach that same limit eventually.
Yeah, I think conservatively top 5, but probability top 3. That's what.
Oh yeah.
With the way things are going to start. I mean, we have no idea what Pulsechain is going to bring. I mean, that is, it's a variable that can't be measured at this point. It's just who know. I was in the chat. I was at the gym listening to the Pulsechain chat. By the way, you guys are freaking awesome in there. You guys are always asking great questions, having good conversations. The Hex Pulse communities are just always cerebral, always thinking, always talking. But what they were talking about was the arbitrage opportunities that are going to, I mean, think about it. We're getting 10,000 tokens are going to show up, or something like 6,000 tokens or something are going to show up, different tokens, and they're going to come over, and some of the communities, or whales, I should say, whales within those cryptos, may not like what's going on over there and may try and like dump their stuff. But then that gives opportunity, because the price will just like dump to zero. That'll give opportunity to Hex Pulse whales to go, okay, well, we'll own this one. How's that sound? We'll become the whales of this crypto over here. Because that crypto is not going to go away. It's not like they can litigate it out or tell it to go away or make it to zero or make it disappear. It's going to be there. And somebody puts value into it, it's going to have value. So there's going to be new whales develop. And I think that those are going to be Hexicans that are going to scoop it up, or smart people who are watching this going, okay, I'm going to watch the tokens that are going to dump, and I'm going to go become a whale in that one, or that one, or that one. And yeah, go ahead, dump it, because I'm going to buy it, because now I know people are going to want to trade it over here. I know there's going to be people with bags of it that are going to hold it. So the values of course are all yet to be determined, but there's going to be a lot of posturing and positioning and and opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, seriously,
like just to scoop up all the stuff that you like. I mean, you like a couple of things, grab some when it's cheap or something. If people are dumping it, or you see something, have yourself a have yourself a strategy of your favorite tokens that are over there that you might want to get on the Pulse chain, you know, the ones that you think aren't going to go away, you know. And I mean, shit, there's just going to be so much opportunity.
And that's key what you said too, that like with any opportunity, there's always going to be those people that try to be the whales, you know. But I want to say I heard something similar today on Richard Hart's stream. Maybe it was someone that commented or he was talking about it, but he was saying, yeah, when Pulse Chain comes out, no matter what's going to happen to it, what may or may not happen, like support your project, be a whale in your project, because if not, somebody else will, and that's just the reality. You're just going to miss out, and that's it. So there's going to be whales eventually, and whether the project's good or bad, and we already kind of know based on the track record with Hex where it's going to go, but whatever it may be, there's going to be whales, and just make sure you're one of them because we've been waiting this long for it, you know? Another thing too, what you were saying is ties into what we were saying earlier, but you're talking about just the adoption and everything, you know, where the JP Morgans and the institutions get in, you know, they actually get in and put the big money in late, you know, and I feel like the masses follow those people because when those people buy, that's when the news comes out and people have to hear the news. A lot of people have the wrong mentality in crypto. They have to see it to believe it. But by the time you see it, the opportunity is kind of diluted, you know. Buying Bitcoin at 30K or wherever it's at right now is not as good of opportunity as buying so many other coins at the price that they're at right now. But in crypto, you have to just flip that perspective. You just have to believe in it, and then you see it. But like when you actually see the chart, do the price do what it's got to do, you're actually making that profit that you're seeing happen on the chart, you know? And a little can go a long way, especially with brand new opportunities like what Hex was and what Pulse is going to be, no matter what you buy on Pulse at this rate.
Yeah, no matter what you buy at this rate. I mean, but we're literally going to have a year to front run ETH's 2.0, and who knows what can happen at that point. I mean, because I went over to the Matic network and was playing with that thing. It was a scary ordeal to go over there and do it, and you know, all that stuff. And then they've got your keys, and then there was some funky shit that went on their exchange or whatever. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I didn't like it. A lot of Hexicans didn't like it. But anyway, it didn't. It was fucking smooth, man. It was like butter over there. It was like moving your crypto around in there, and I mean, like right now, the last thing you want to do is send money to one of your wrong wallets or something, or it'd be like, oh crap, that just cost me a shit ton of money. You know, a few weeks ago anyway. Right now, it only costs you a few bucks or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was a time when it would have cost you 300, 130 or whatever, you know, if you'd done something like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. I want to do this or that. But over there, it was like free. It didn't cost you anything, and it moved quick. And that's how Pulse is going to be. I'm telling you, man, once people start clicking and moving money around over there and start staking and it doesn't cost you anything, shit's like crack, man. That's crypto crack over there, you know?
Yeah, and too, like I don't know if people are familiar with like using like the Binance Smart Chain. People see all like the scammy stuff that's going on over there, but there's always a new random coin just coming out like almost every day it seems, and like they show, and they're always rug pulls. I've messed with them a few times, little few, just nothing serious. I kind of had the feeling I'm getting rug pulled, but there's sometimes you can throw in a few dollars and that'll turn into like hundreds of thousands right when the coin drops, and then boom, the one big candle just rug pulls you. The reason why I'm saying that is because when Hex came out, it was like you had the price of all those rug pull type coins and that opportunity, but it's actually a real one. You can put $100 in and turn that into 6 figures, you know, and it's really a reality. Pulse Chain is kind of like that second opportunity. So like if you're trying to get into one of those coins, it just basically has like no value or any coin that's on it, and just see where the price takes you. Even if there's no like technology or anything that makes sense behind it, like the price will go up just by putting money into there simply, you know? So, and it's one of those where it's like, you can just put a little bit in there, see it go a long way. You put a lot in there, who knows where it can go to, you know? But it's like, it's sustainable, and you know, you have that confidence in the actual project itself, you know? And by the way, I checked Nomics. So yeah, Dogecoin 6, XRP 7, Hex 8, they're all within 7 billion. So that's literally like one big Hex candle that flips
that's a candle away, yeah.
Yeah, Cardano's 14 billion above Hex. That's right there. Binance Smart Chain is number 4. There's a lot of money in there, but I feel like I don't see the high ceiling there. So definitely Hex can take it just depends on Tether. If these prices keep going down, we'll see a lot of stable coins get that money, something like Tether, whatnot. But yeah, I definitely see a top 5 very soon. But yeah, top 3 is a strong possibility depending on the way that the markets play out the end of this year.
Yeah. I mean, without looking at charts, just gauging what's going on out there and what's happening in the crypto space, this weekend was proof to me that they've got nothing. I mean, if your biggest investor is screeching, hollering, and nervous, your biggest mouthpiece is screeching and turning everybody off. Your MC doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, doesn't understand crypto, and he's even admitted it on stream. Then what do you have? I mean, that is a shit show. I can literally take a handful of Hexicans, brand new ones that have just been in like the last 6 months, and I can put a better show on than those fools did over this last weekend.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, there's actually something to talk about when it comes to Hex. It's complex at the end of the day. For your average person getting into crypto, there's a lot to talk about just to get to the average person's, attention. Bitcoin is kind of like, oh, we're Bitcoin, buy it, hold it, and don't sell it. What else? No,
but the message, we're taking on the world. That's what we're doing. We're tearing up money, and it was like, what is this ridiculousness? What are you talking about? You have, not only top signals, but we've ran out of material signals. They've ran out of material. There is nothing that they can do. It's a desperation. They know it doesn't work. They know it's too old. They know it can't be a currency. They know that nobody in their right mind who is, look, I'm going to call it what it is. Michael Saylor is an idiot. He put too much money into something that he knew absolutely nothing about and tried to market that. He tried to market it, and he didn't look at the fundamentals first. Had he done his research with all those billions of dollars that he put in, or whatever it was that he put in, and got into something correctly, something like Hex, he'd be sitting in a much better place. Much better place. But right now, he's in trouble. And you could see it in his face. You could see it in the numbers, because he's the laughing stock of the real financial world right now. They put his numbers out, and they're laughing at him. They're laughing at him. They're like, dude, you shilled that thing and you screwed it up, man.
He's about to tap.
They've got the worst numbers. They're looking at their numbers in the real financial world and laughing at him. Like, dude, what did you do, man? This is bullshit. You lost $250 million here just in like the last few months. I mean, the last month. It's like you screwed up. And then so they put him on stage with some absolutely crazy, screechy human being. I mean, MK is like, that dude is just, holy moly, man. I
don't even know the man, but now I do. And I'm like, wow, like, who is he? But it's a great first impression, to say the least, for me. I was like, okay, this is what's kind of holding the Bitcoin price right now.
What's really funny is that, so he jumps on stage and does this fuck Elon thing, right? Fuck Elon, fuck Elon. Like a guy dancing that has no rhythm, right? He can't even curse somebody out without looking like a geek. So he's up on stage looking like a fool, yelling, fuck Elon, we're not selling. Michael Saylor's over there cringing, going, oh, this guy, you're killing my bags, bro. I got bags to grow here, man. I'm in trouble, man. Look at you fool. And what's funny is that guy thought that was cool, and he's doubling down on it. And him and his wife are going on a tour, on a fuck Elon tour. And it's like, no, bro, that was one of the most cringiest things that crypto's ever seen. Why would you double down on that and go on a fuck Elon tour? Are you trying to bury it? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, and it's bad because like these people that hold the big holders in Bitcoin, they really think, and they're making general people think that Elon's really the one thing that's dictating the entire price. Like, yeah, I'm sure he has a massive pull, but at the end of the day, like, it's not just one person controlling all of Bitcoin. At least yet, who knows in the future. But yeah, like that's just the wrong mentality. These guys really think it's Elon, so they're mad at him. And I'm like, anyone that's mad at Elon right now, like you got no one to blame but yourself. You just got to be real, look yourself in the mirror and just understand, just do your research, do a little bit, just kind of expand more into the crypto world and just look at other projects, at least listen to the people that know a lot about it. Like Hex, you know, just come on your streams. Whales only, by the way, like, yeah, like you said earlier, he's unbelievable. He knows a lot. So if anybody's trying to get the Hex, and you guys like don't know about Whales only, go to his page because he definitely taught me a lot just by watching him when I first got in. But yeah, for people to think that it's just like one person, I'm like, it's not that, guys. You guys are all in Bitcoin with the wrong mentality.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you know, a few weeks before that, they were praising him and bowing down to the to the Elon, and then you know, then all of a sudden he's a bad guy because he's sold. I mean, that's what people get into crypto to do, is to sell eventually, you know. And if your top is in and you sell, then it was, you know, hey, look, guys, if somebody buys $1.5 billion, expect the guy to sell one day.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of Bitcoin to sell. So
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a fun question, and you just got to just answer it, okay?
I do.
Okay, here you go. So right here, you have a gun to your head right now. You have to choose which thing happens first: Bitcoin to 100K, Ethereum to 10K, Hex to $1.
Hex to $1. And I'm not just saying that because if I was trying to be right on something, Hex to $1. It's going to take Ethereum to get out of the mess that's in right now. I think Ethereum's the better product, but I don't think Ethereum's ready. I don't think that I do like Vitalik. I think he's a smart guy, but I don't think that he is a good marketer. I think he's made some mistakes there, and I don't think that they're ready for prime time. You know, yes, they are the number 2 crypto in the world, and they've done great things by bringing the ERC20 world, and they are basically the birther of Hex. But on their marketing side, they've got some issues. They should have took advantage of this bull run. They didn't move at all. They didn't move an inch, it seemed. They should have took advantage of it. And when Bitcoin topped out, they should have been ready to fire with all cylinders, launch everything, go, go, go. And then if things weren't 100% correct, fix them then, you know. If I was running, that's what I would have done. I'd have said, hey, we gotta go. We got to get out there. But maybe they weren't there yet. Maybe they didn't do anything for the last 3-4 years that they've been talking about this thing, 5 years or whatever. I find it hard to believe that they couldn't come up with a product in that amount of time and fix it, and realize that if we had another bull run and we had another thing like the crypto kitties, they already had, you know, historical data of what's going to happen to their network. If another bull run comes, which they knew it was going to come, are we going to be prepared for that? Or are we going to go sit on yachts and smash girls in, you know, foreign countries and not do our work for the last few years? I don't know what happened. I don't understand. I don't get it. But they didn't take advantage of an opportune time. And so I don't think Ethereum can hit that 10K right now. Bitcoin, 100K? I don't think so. I was extremely surprised at 60K. And I know a lot of people called it and a lot of people said it, but I was like, man, I don't know if it can hit. I was thinking 35, 40K.
Yeah.
Maybe 45, 48K, something like that. I was never thinking 60K ever for Bitcoin in this next run. But, you know, it did, but I don't think it's going to go to 100K. It's going to be, if it doesn't bounce now, it's going to retrace and it's going to go down low, man. And it's going to piss a lot of institutional people off. And I think it's going to get hit hard because of that, because those are the ones that are in it right now. The institutional money is what's in Bitcoin right now. So I think that they start seeing it tumble. One of them moves and it's going to be a domino effect.
Yeah. And I agree too. And I think the overall sentiment between the three, I think right now, if I had to kind of just guess, is like, yeah, that massive Bitcoin run up to the all-time high was like everyone's finding out about it. Everyone's pouring the money in. All the big money's getting in. Then they kind of realized like the sentiment died down a little bit. A bunch of people realized there's other better projects, so money probably slowly started pouring into, you know, other cryptos as time went on. And then, yeah, once the people got punched in the mouth of that first pullback, everyone just freaked out, panic sold. And Ethereum's kind of like, for people that still don't know much beyond Bitcoin, a lot of them that know Bitcoin probably are starting to know Ethereum now. So that's kind of just that gateway. I think that's why Ethereum's performing a little better, but it also still dipped. But I'm like, yeah, man, just imagine if Hex was just out there and on those big sites like, hey, guys, if the bear market's here today, look, try something about this. Get paid in the bear market, you know? But it's just that awareness is all it takes. But it was an interesting question because I would ask myself that. But before, when we're under a penny, I'm thinking like, okay, 100K Bitcoin, 10K Hex, 10 cent, or 10K Ethereum,
Yes.
10 cent Hex. And it's like, okay, I fall asleep, wake up, we're at 7 pennies. I'm like, okay, now I got to start thinking like $1, you know?
Yeah, but the decorrelation of Hex is what's kind of thrown everything off, probably, especially for people who are charting. And for me also, I mean, I'm looking at it as, okay, all the markets, the dollar, what's going on out there in the world, and Hex is still moving like it's moving. So it's like it has decorrelated from COVID. It's decorrelated from the markets, the real markets. It's decorrelated from the dollar somewhat. It's decorrelated from the economy. It's decorrelated from all crypto. I mean, I was watching a stream the other day. I believe it was Wales again, and Access Live. Access, bro, I saw you in the chat room, dude. Reach out to me. I've been trying to get a hold of you. Want to talk to you, my man. So, but Access, Access was talking about it. It's like the market share of crypto versus the market share chart of Hex is really, the gap is growing exponentially. And that was like, wow, that opened my eyes, because now I know that Hex is literally ripping itself away from everything and doing its own thing completely on its own. It's not correlated to anything else out there in the entire world right now. And that is very exciting. That's very, very exciting, especially for a crypto product, because that's what that's what a crypto product was meant to do, is to correlate itself from everything and move finance forward. And with Hex, we have that. We have programmable money that's time locked, and there's nothing else out there like it. And that's what's exciting to me, is seeing that, and then having the ability to stack shares early while that is going on, because that gap is only going to grow more and more as Hex goes, because this is a very small community, a very small amount of people that are in Hex right now, and we've done what we've done with it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to grow, because Hex can't really go backwards. It's consolidating. It's consolidating and growing and becoming more and more valuable by design. And it's immutable, so you can't stop it, man. You can't stop it.
Yeah, it's just something truly, truly special. And like, yeah, right now, the way that the Hex chart, and you don't even have to talk T-shares to talk about how just amazing Hex is. Just the price is crazy, because like right now it's making a statement. Like the markets are just getting punched in the mouth. And if we just go back to the basketball game, the starting five is getting tired right now. Hex is coming in off the bench, hits a few 3-pointers, brings some energy back. Maybe Hex is, leads the trail back up for the rest of crypto. I don't know if everything else is going to follow it, but at least Hex can just take off and do its own thing. But yeah, I think Hex is that set of fresh legs that crypto needs, at least the general public, I guess, or the masses of people that are just getting into crypto. Hex is that breath of fresh air right now for a bunch of people. And it's like, wow, this thing just doesn't slow down. It doesn't get tired.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So let me address somebody in the chat room real quick, because he's been real active and been cool. So James Lipinski, right? So Lipinski.
I'll let you mess that up.
Yeah, I'm freaking horrible with names. So at least I didn't call you an asshole, man. No. So he said, I spent a week trying to figure out how it can be a scam. I like that, because that's how everybody kind of, the first thing we do in being in crypto is we go and look for, so we start Googling. And of course, Google doesn't do Hex any favors, because there's so much FUD out there about it that it just, it's just punched into the algorithm now, because so many people are trying to FUD it in so many different ways. There are a lot of different ways that people were trying to FUD Hex. Some people were using it to shill a ref link so that they can get more Hex. So there was like a lot of funny, strange articles out there that were actually like parodies of FUD. That didn't help, because some people, I actually thought some of the parodies were real at first, and had to be straightened out. I was like, man, somebody look at some asshole wrote, and they're like, no, dude, look, that guy's shilling his ref link. And it's like, oh shit, So, I mean, there's so much FUD out there just trying to, so it's hard to really get the real answer. So unless you go to hex.com and start reading what's on the website and go in and look at there's no real there's a technical paper that Kyle wrote, and Nerd Girl actually wrote one too. She wrote a layman's guide and kind of condensed it down a little bit so that you didn't have to be such a galaxy brain to understand it all. But it's all in there, it's all in there. And if you do your research and you start figuring out what Hex is, and then you start listening to some of the streams like Richard put out, then that's when you go, oh, okay, I see what you did here. Yeah, all right. And then there you go. You're sucked into the reality of what crypto was supposed to be, and you're like, I'm a Hexican, man. This thing is for real now. And then the charts have proven it.
Yeah, no, it's well said. It's just you can do all the research you want. Just if everyone puts that amount of energy into researching every coin to find like the scam or the trick, you'll find a lot of them. But like Hex, you're going to be searching for a long time till the day you die. You're just never going to stop. There's just nothing there, Once you break it down to every little piece, it is what it is, and it's just reality. That's the future. That's how you shift the world. That's why. Like inventions change the world. The best inventions shift the world. It's because you're giving the world something that it's never seen before, and it's hard to believe it. But it's like it is what it is. And once people just accept that, just okay, then get in and enjoy the ride.
And you know what, bro? It's something. It's something new to the world, but it's something that the world absolutely needs right now. It needs Hex right now. The world truly needs Hex right now on all kinds of different fronts. From legitimizing crypto to, the whole, there's an argument out there about Bitcoin's energy consumption. This fixes all of that. There's all kinds of things that Hex, makes the world a better place by doing what it's doing. So it's the world needs Hex. And, that's like, I know it sounds like what the maxis are saying. I almost cringe saying the things that I say about Hex, because I've heard all of these narratives before.
Yeah.
But the difference is I lived through all those other narratives and saw them either not come to fruition, just be broken promises, or straight out lies. And I lived through that since 2000, actually 2010 when Bitcoin first came out. I wasn't in Bitcoin, but I knew of it. I knew it was coming. I knew, I was in the IRC channels early before, when cryptocurrency was just in games. When they were shilling it as a game currency, they shilled it to me. And then Satoshi, on that same channel, they built Bitcoin. And I never got into it. It's just another PayPal, whatever, didn't think anything of it until 2014 when I actually got my first Bitcoin, and then started to understand what it was all about. And then it was like, whoa, this could be something here. But
I would say too, and that's key. So before I go on, what you said at the very beginning, Hex is like the world needs it, and that reminds me of a quote I heard. I think it might have been Elon Musk, but maybe one of those billionaire guys that's really just doing well says the people that make the most money in this world are the ones that find the biggest problems that this world needs and solves them. So like Elon Musk, what he's doing, Jeff Bezos, Amazon, convenience to everything's digital. And that's exactly the thing. Like Bitcoin paved the path. It started to address a problem. It gave us an idea of how we fix the problem. It just didn't fully do it. Hex kind of comes in and addresses all those concerns that we need on the blockchain, so that's key. And that's what separates it from sounding like everyone else, because you can break it down and explain why it makes sense and why we all need this to solve what we're trying to solve. And then two, I would say too, like Bitcoin, it's still its thing. I mean, I guess, because like if you think about it, like gold's not performing well over the past 10 years. It's just kind of held its price. Well, Bitcoin, it might be that. So if Bitcoin's like digital gold, Ethereum could probably be like the digital oil, and Hex is like digital diamonds, you know. So everyone get the T shares in Hex are your digital diamonds. So it's something special and something different that we've never seen.
No, never seen. And there was a big opportunity for many years for crypto to do something like this. And Richard was just smart enough, fast enough to beat everybody to the punch and do something like this. Nobody else has. Nobody else has done it like Richard's done it with Hex. And that's the difference between Hex and everything else, is that it's done, it's immutable, and it's just like when Satoshi launched Bitcoin, it was there and it was just going to happen. And Hex is even less manipulatable, if that's even a fucking word, than Bitcoin. You know, you can still manipulate Bitcoin. There are still things and functions of Bitcoin that they're trying to, upgrade, move, do, things to. But, Hex, you can't change it. The code is there, it's done, and it's going to continue to do what it's doing. And that's up and to the right, and
up and to the
making
right.
more Hex for the stakers. The stakers are the ones who are minting the inflation. And if you want to be part of that, if you want to mint the inflation of the world's fastest, highest appreciating asset that is ever going to be seen, then you're going to want to set yourself up to mint Hex. And the only way to do that is to gather shares. That's the bottom line. Again, comes all the way back around to shares. You want to get as many shares as you can.
Yeah, and it's just like too, like you're not anyone can just come up with this. Like Hex is just so well thought out, and the most impressive part outside of what Hex already is just the game theory that was already kind of pre-calculated before it was released, of just how you keep the price going up, which is monetizing the only thing that matters, which is just buying and holding, stuff like that. That's how it goes, ties to your point. It's just less manipulatable. It's just so well thought out. Like an average person can't just come up with this. You really have to understand how the crypto markets move, how the blockchain works in general, and then how to really come up with something new and then keep it performing when other things evolve and adapt to what you have. There's going to be a bunch of ideas that come out in the next few years that are going to try to be like this, but Hex already has that. They're playing chess. The way that Hex was designed, it's just playing chess in a game full of checkers in the blockchain. So Hex is really that first true powerhouse on the entire blockchain. I mean, Bitcoin's done its thing. Don't get me wrong. Like it's paid a lot of people that got in early. So is Ethereum. A lot of coins have done their thing, but I feel like on the blockchain, Hex, if we're looking at the next from 2010 all the way to 100-year span, Hex is really that first true powerhouse in the blockchain, and hopefully Pulsechain might be that second. Who knows? But I feel like we have one really truly good coin that I can honestly put my life behind. Like, okay, like the blockchain's here, and we finally have that one product that gives us all a reason to finally utilize it without having all that worry and skepticism.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about being a Hex influencer, is that I've never had to pull a stream down. I've never had to apologize or say, sorry, you got hurt on this one, or we made a bad call, or anything like that. Everything that we've done here has done nothing but go up with the price and the share price and the price itself of Hex. So we've always been able to stand behind it because it's done all the work for us, and we've just said, we basically just rode its coattails and pointed at it and going, see,
yeah,
it is. It's still doing it. It's going to do it this week. Probably going to do it next week. Here it is. Even when we go sideways and stuff, I mean, I never had to walk anything back or tell anybody they made a bad, move, or because I've never told anybody, hey, we need to sell this right here. We need to buy here and we need to sell here. And this is where your lines are. And this is where you're going to make your trade. This is where the trade is. We've never had charts behind us doing that. We just said, here it goes, and it's going to go again. And oh yeah, we're going sideways, or it took a dip and it's going to come back up. I mean, that's what's been good about being a Hex influencer, is that I've never had to apologize or pull a stream down and hide it like a lot of these influencers are doing. It just came to my attention today that somebody who used to be in this community actually pulled down all of their streams and, pulled it all down so that they didn't have to show what they were doing outside of, Hex. They were part of it at one point, but now they're not. And they had to pull all their streams down. But that's what's cool about being a Hexicans. We've never had to do that.
And then that's key too, because it's definitely not trading. It's the furthest thing you can get away from trading while being in the markets in Hex, because if the price goes up, great, you're getting paid, you're happy. Price goes down, okay, well, you're still getting paid from your interest in T-shares, and that's still going to be worth, dollars one day, If the price goes down, you buy that dip and maximizing those T-shares while you get a little bit of a discount. Like, you just have no matter which way the chart goes, there's a reason to buy Hex compared to anything else.
You're right.
You just you literally just, if you break it down, it makes too much sense. And that's just what I feel like people see it. They know it. A lot of people just don't want to accept it. I don't know what it is, but it's just it just makes too much sense.
It does. It does. Do you have a chart that you wanted to bring up and talk about?
Yeah, I'll have some Hex charts. Always have some Hex charts.
Yeah, let's go over so you can teach me something and I can question and maybe relate to it in a different way.
Yeah. So
you see how to, I don't know if you know how to use the StreamYard here, but
yeah, I got this. Here we go. Share screen. So like I said, I'm no genius or nothing. I just do a lot in the charts. I understand them, and I try to keep them as simple as possible too, for everyone to understand. The way that was easiest for me to understand, I try to help everyone understand it the same way. Can you guys see my chart?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me add it here. Bing. There it is.
Okay, so I guess without getting too detailed or complex, like you said, if you overanalyze charts, there's no reason to do that. Although if you do overanalyze a Hex chart, everything makes too much sense when you add everything together. But simple things I look for in charts is just simple wave patterns, right? So charts usually, move in those 3 to 5 wave patterns. So that's what I always look out for. I look for consolidation patterns that break out into, we call them Elliott waves, 3-point wave, 5-point wave for the people that don't know. But so what I see right now in Hex, and I want to tie this into something else. So we all just had that big bull flag that we were all talking about on Twitter. The picture perfect bull flag. We had the breakout. Didn't go as high as everyone would hope for, but it's still on the grand scheme of things, it's a healthy correction that we're having. What I see on this is there's patterns inside of patterns, and what I mean by that is if I kind of zoom out, and I'll show a long-term chart in a second, but this is more in the short term. This is the 4-hour chart. So wait 1 second. Let me delete off this blue line. So if I'm looking for a 5-wave pattern, we're creating that right here, right now. So for wave 1, the bull flag, wave 2, right now we're in wave 3. Just because we had this little pullback doesn't mean the wave's not there. In the grand scheme of things, on the big scale wave, it's still there. So I expect, when Hex kind of gets past this psychological level of 7 pennies, I knew we were going to tap that once he broke the all-time highs. If you guys watched my streams, we talked about that. We went straight to 7 pennies. I expected a reaction. I'll show you that in a smaller wave. But yeah, once we get to the 7.77 penny range, between 7.77 and 8 and maybe 8.5, I'd say. I expect the next pullback to kind of come flip this, 6.5 penny previous all-time high into a new support line before it finishes off that 5th wave to, I have 9.5, but if we get to 9.5, we're probably touching 10. That's me in the grand scheme of things. But if I kind of break this down into smaller waves, how do we get there is my question. And this is the basketball game I talk about. I like watching to see. I'm watching every play right now, seeing how it's going to move, and seeing the momentum, it kind of projecting what might happen. That's all I really do, but I'm going to make another color. So inside this wave, I'm going to skip past, the consolidation, but what I see happening right now is another 5-wave pattern inside this big 5-wave pattern. This is a new color. So we have a small 1-wave, 2-wave. We just broke the all-time in 3-wave. What I expect to happen, well, it already is happening, but I was looking at this earlier, was a pullback off 7 pennies, retest this 6.5 penny all-time high, flip that to a support line, and then that'll take us to that 7 pennies. On the grand scheme of things, I think that might be the move we can expect. Who knows what can happen, but based off of what's happening right now, I wouldn't be shocked to see Hex. It already is. Look at this pullback. It literally hit the 7 penny range. It's pulling back perfectly. It's already respecting it. So we could see something like this happen maybe in a few days, few hours. Who knows? No one Hex, it can double, triple the price overnight. But I wouldn't be shocked to see us hit, 7.77 penny, this range I have. And then before we have more of a major pullback, and then we shoot up to that next major level that I have, around the 10 penny mark. And I want to show something else real quick. I'll try not to talk too much because I know I can go on and on. But let me delete this. So something to pay attention to right here. We had a double top almost. So we had one top, two top, and it's moving sideways. I call that like a price trap. That's what I call it. It's a big resistance line. I'm going to show you a more of a long-term chart, and we're going to compare this to something that happened previously. And we might be creating history all over again. Let me show you another screen real quick. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, whoops. Share file.
See, that's what I like is about history and seeing the chart doing things that it's done in history, when you take a snapshot, because that's the stuff I can understand. I know all these different waves and what could happen and this and that. But it's like, show me something that did in historic, because I know things are secular. They work in cycles. You see things come and go, come and go.
So this is like perfect. If you like history and everything, this is perfect. Can you see my other chart I have up?
We can see it.
So we just talked about that double top. We had a big top. So this is going back to what Hex is over here right now. Now we're looking back from October of 2020 to March of 2021. We had a similar type of pattern on a more grand scheme of things. So we had one top, two, we had a triple top here. We were price trapped. What I like to see when we finally break out of a price trap is for us to rip through that, top resistance line. I want to see a healthy correction, flip that into resistance, to a support line. So we zoom in, we see it break, flip this all-time high, what it was, into a support line, and then we just explode it off of that. And then I'll go back to the other chart and show you what could possibly happen if we do the exact same thing based on what we're printing out. But what I like to see when we break out of these price traps is just like a nice, simple, strong 5-wave pattern to keep it super basic, like the 101s. So we did have that. We had one wave, wave two, flipped the all-time high into a support line. Wave three just ripped up and went to uncharted territory. Wave four kind of came down. It hit a key level on the Fibonacci. That's something we have to worry about right now. But basically, long story short, we're in the midst of a wave five in the grand scheme of things. And you see the correlation. Wave five goes straight to about 10 pennies, the same way my short-term chart has that next major level going to that 9.5, 10 penny range. So that's something that's very, very bullish, but I can kind of show you guys here actually. So you see that triple top here. Let me just move this down. We kind of have like a double, who knows, this could have the potential of a triple top, but like we see a double top. So if it creates the same thing, say price, right, let me delete this red line so I don't confuse people. Say price does decide to break out of this double top range that we have here, this level. If we recreate history, we can see something like this. We break the price trap and start a new 5-wave pattern. So we break it, something like this, flip this all-time high into another support line, and then, man, what if we have another massive rip up the same way this happened? Now we're talking, I don't want to get too ambitious for people, but, you see the numbers on the side. You can go anywhere from 16 to 25 at that point, but that's more on like looking at the overall year. That's going to take a little bit more time, but just to see what Hex is printing right now compared to what has already happened when it printed, double tops and triple tops. This is probably the most bullish I've ever seen Hex in my time looking at it. And that says a lot because we know how bullish Hex has been looking ever since it came out. So that's something to pay attention to right now.
And we've seen some big moves happen fast,
Fast. April 2020, fast, like this right here. Imagine if something like this, that stream you were talking about the other night, those guys put up this chart right here and they kind of recreated this. If this were to happen, like, yeah, we're just, there's a lot of high upside. I'll say that just to keep it nice and simple. Like Hex can really, really, really shock us again the same way it's been shocking us every single day. So that's just something to look out forward to. So, but yeah, just pay attention to those levels I showed you guys to keep it super simple. If we're just creating basic waves, like Hex is following the technicals. Even if you don't, Hex fundamentals are way more supreme than any Hex fundamentals way more supreme than any technical. But if we actually look at the technicals, like they look just as bullish as the fundamentals, especially with Pulsechain around the corner. Who knows, guys?
Yeah, it's I see us moving into, the 10-12 cent range plus during this pulse chain. I think as soon as pulse chain gets announced, from everything that I've seen, from day one FOMO to big payday to Godwell getting in, to this first mention of pulse chain launch, taking us up to new all-time highs. I think that we're going to see a monster rip going into, this pulse chain launch. I know what people are doing. They're stacking Hex. They want to get some for sacrifice. They think Hex is I think everybody psychologically thinks that Hex is, and this is my charting. I look at the personalities of people, the people I talk to and all that. And I think that people are asking me to put my chart up there. Bring my recent shark wave. I'd have to
show us what you got. Come on.
I did that. I did my shark chart on the. Hold on one second here. Let's see.
I saw the tweet you had this morning or earlier today.
I have to mess around with Twitter and everything else to do it. I'll put them up later, guys. They're on Twitter. I put all my charts on Twitter, but I put the double titty and the whole thing is up there. It's all my charts are up there that I put, but every one of them were a pump. But see, I gauge the pump by the community. So my introduction into crypto was I was placed into by a friend who was connected with whales. I was put into a whale room basically in Telegram, and they traded millions of dollars in crypto. And I was just a bystander. I just got to hang out there. I hung out with some very, very prominent, crypto folks. Some of them own coins, own exchanges. I got to just hang and watch. So what I seen was, even though these guys had money, they were still emotional human beings, and they still talked about the same things that we all talk about on a regular basis. And when I talk to our community, when I'm talking to people and talking to the people who have significant amounts of Hex and what they're talking about doing and how they're talking about getting into the pulse chain, I can see that there are a lot of emotional decisions that are about to be made, and they're all leaning towards one direction. And it's really beneficial to the Hex price, people, positioning themselves for pulse. So it's, without looking at a chart and saying, hey, this is not financial advice, and it looks like it's going to do this, it looks like it's going to do that. I mean, we can see what's going on in the chat rooms. We can see what's going on in our communities. We can talk to all the people that are investing in Hex, and we can kind of get a feel for what's about to happen. Now, the one thing that concerns me, but I guess it's the right way to do it, is that Richard today said, you're not going to know when it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. And that scared me, because it's like, I better be by my computer and not away for the weekend or something when he does announce it.
Oh yeah.
So, when that happens, it's going to be day one FOMO. It will be day one FOMO. And at that point, everybody goes, slides their chips into the center of the table because they've got the hand. I mean, it's just like poker. When somebody gets that freaking straight flush in their hand or whatever, and they're like, oh man, I'm going in on this one. They got 4 of a kind sitting in their hand. Oh, I'm going all in on this one. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going to happen when Richard announces the particulars of Pulse, what the sacrifice phase is going to look like, the days in which, you can sacrifice, and the benefits of doing it day 1, day 3, day 7, day 10, whatever. Then that's when you're going to see everybody position and move. And that's when things are going to go off the charts, where our charts aren't going to matter. The wave patterns and all that aren't going to matter, because it's going to be an emotional black swan event, just like Big Payday was. Big Payday, even though we could have charted it and said, okay, well, we know during this week right here before Big Payday, we're going to see a big run up. So, stand by for that. But if you were Fibonacciing and doing all that stuff to the chart, you would have never really saw that unless you knew that Big Payday was coming. Yeah. And we can see Big Payday in the chart. And that was an emotional event. That was a black swan moment within the chart, which Pulse Chain is going to do the same. So we're going to see that exact same thing happen, and it's coming soon, and it could come at any moment now.
Yeah, that's right here. So, I mean, just for people being aware of Hex and Pulse, you guys are in the right place, right time. The opportunity is here. People on the stream, like this is something truly special. There's one other thing I want to show, if you don't mind putting the chart up real quick.
Yeah,
It's nothing to do with waves.
Let me answer this question real quick. So James is new, and he's been asking some good questions. And so James, the sacrifice phase, this is what's going to happen. So in order to make a statement and say that you no longer want to do business on the ETH chain, there's going to be a list of coins that can be sacrificed. We don't know exactly what that list is, but if you look at some of Richard's tweets, he's put up a list of the coins that will be sacrificed, and they're not all going to be ERC20 tokens. Bitcoin is going to be one of them. There's going to be sacrificial coins that you're going to be able to sacrifice for. There's going to be a phase of, I believe at this point, the best that we know is it's going to be about a 30 to 33 day phase where this sacrifice phase will happen. It's going to be mixed up in chunks. I think you're going to have like day 1 through 3, or what. We don't know exactly how many days. He could do it every day. He can give you a few days, and the first rounds or 2 could be a few days long to get in. But once you make a political statement and sacrifice your tokens expecting 0, then you can do so as much as you want. If you can only sacrifice $100 or $1,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 or $500,000, it's up to you and how you sacrifice those coins. But remember, those coins are gone. It's a political statement saying, I don't want to do business on this chain. I want to do business on the Pulse chain one day. And here's my sacrifice. Here's my statement. And that's what you're going to do. Those people are going to be thought of. And when Pulse chain does roll out its coins, then those people are going to be looked at and measured and given an amount of the 0 value Pulse chains. At that point, they're going to be worth 0, and you're going to get them for your sacrifice.
Oh, yeah.
And then it has to discover price. It has to have price discovery. And that's going to be determined by the market. That's going to be determined by the initial trades that happen. What I like to call the moment of what do they call that? When the Big Bang happened, not the conflagration, but the shit. Anyway, freaking old man brain. Brianne, I'm going to take my shit. It's on its way. It is on its way. And maybe I'll get my brain back. The singularity happens, and then everything starts to discover price on the exchange, on the DEX within Pulse. Then everything will start to discover price, and then it'll move from there up or down, whichever way it goes. And then you will now be part of the Pulse chain versus where you were before, because you don't want to do business over there anymore. Not that we're thumbing our noses at Ethereum, but we're going to actually help Ethereum by taking some of the load, taking some of the weight, and then everybody is going to get copies of their ERC20 tokens that exist on the Ethereum chain airdropped onto the Pulse chain. And that includes all of you Hexicans that are owning Hex are going to get Hex and your Hex stakes duplicated on that chain. So you will have 2 bags of Hex, 2 bags of stakes, and what a great day it is for Hexicans to have that. Wow. So that's what it means. That's what it is. I hope I explained it to you. Let's pull up your chart now.
And before while you do that, that was key too. Also, I think, you explained that very well, by the way. So, I think everyone understood that. But also too, you got to think about like Hex was just a better version of Bitcoin in theory, I guess. See Pulse Chain as like a better version of Bitcoin. Yeah, see Pulse Chain is a better version of Ethereum. Pulse Chain is not just a coin; it's an actual network, the same way Ethereum is. So there's utility value there at the end of the day, outside of it just being Pulse Chain, the coin with the price appreciation. So, But real quick, so this is something I posted a video on Twitter this morning, just showing a little bit of just strictly in price, the correlation, how it's not even there anymore. I just want to compare it to a few coins. So let's go through just the top, few coins. So don't mind the squiggles, but so XRP, for example, off its all-time high right now at this current moment, we're down 52%. Dogecoin from its all-time high right now, we're down 53%. Bitcoin from its all-time high, I have to shrink this. It was up there. 41%. Cardano from its all-time high, and I like this coin a lot. 33% is down. Ethereum from its all-time high currently today, we're down 41%. Hex from its all-time high. Well, we're at an all-time high. So we're actually positive from the previous all-time high. So Hex this is making a statement. Hex is really separating itself from the pack right here, right now. And this is something that's truly special. So that's probably the most bullish thing I've ever seen. And like I said, you guys have been talking about it. Whale's been talking about it. Richard Hart's been talking about that. There's no correlation. That's the way it's designed. It's designed that way. Now we're truly seeing it. I'm even seeing it. Because even when I thought like, okay, all cryptos have some correlation. No, I have no doubt in my mind that there's truly no correlation from this moment on. There never was. But in any skeptic's mind, after seeing what price did today, or the past, I guess, 48 hours, there's truly no correlation anymore. There's no debate. It's a fact.
There's no debate about it. None. It is completely decorrelated. When you show losses like that, I mean, those are bear market losses right there. I mean, that's not a correction loss. 50, 53, 52%. That doesn't seem like a correction. That seems more like going into bearish territory, right?
Yeah.
Those are big losses.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say it's a bear market, but even Richard Hart talked about it earlier. He knows it all, and he was saying he's seen these corrections before, but when he sees corrections 40, 50%, that's usually when a bear market's happening. He sees those corrections in a bear market. You don't really see those in the bull market. So we'll just see. We'll see, prices bouncing here and there, but at the end of the day, like, there's a big question mark in all of the crypto markets right now, except for one coin. And we all know what that coin is. It's in Hex. Like, Hex is still performing. It's paying people if you're just doing nothing. Even if you're holding liquid Hex, you're still doing well. If you have the T shares on top of liquid Hex, I mean, we already went through that a million times. It just makes too much sense, guys. So it's still early. So just do what you got to do and take care of business if you're trying to make a change.
Yeah. Okay. So this is that decorrelation chart that I made today, showing crypto and showing Hex. I like to call it the shark chart. And so what we got here is we have a great white Hexican shark. And this is the decorrelation of all of the other coins versus Hex. And yes, RG3 called it the shark chart. There it is in all of its glory. Now I do these on my phone, sitting on the shitter or whatever. That's how these are all compiled. So just let you guys know that's how these are done. That's the shark chart.
That's just crazy. It's crazy. It does look like a shark now as you put it that way. I'm like, wow. It almost seems like it's fake almost, and it's like it's just not. It really isn't. It's like this is just the reality of the world. But yeah, so I don't mean to cut you short, but I do have to go do something. I was supposed to do. So I'm like 45 minutes late to what I was supposed to do, but I do have to cut out here right now, RG. But it was very good being with you, and thanks for having me on and inviting me and being. You're a great host.
Oh man, no, thanks. It was good having you on. And I just want to make a quick announcement. You and I have talked in private, but now I'm going to make it official. You're going to be coming on DS Network on Thursday nights at 7, right?
7 Pacific
PM
time.
Pacific time.
Yeah,
your time different, but yeah. So
slot.
we're going to be. So we appreciate you, man, and we're excited to have you on. We need more people like you that are showing the proper way to look at charts and what they mean and how they can help you, especially when you're talking about Hex. So I mean, I think what you guys bring is a lot of confidence to the community as far as the fundamentals of what Hex is doing, where it's going, what its histories look like, versus like, somebody like me, I can sit here and scream, eat shit and bark at the moon all I want. But you guys actually put the numbers to it and say, look, this is where it was. This is where it's been. This is where it is today, and this is where it's going, and that's what you guys bring to it. And I appreciate that. So we're excited to have you on the network, bro. And can't wait to have you on.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I just have to publicly say, just thank you for what you and all of the Discourse and that, your channel does. The content you guys put in, the value you guys provide. People, us as people, I'm talking as a normal guy, like a bunch of people on the stream, we really have to show that appreciation, because if it wasn't for these guys doing what they're doing, Hex, the voice is not out there. When I first got into Hex, I wanted to figure out every little detail. I went to your guys' videos for that. If you guys didn't have videos out there, there's nothing but, BS articles that are saying scam, Richard Hart, this and that. So on behalf of all of the people that are getting into Hex and you've helped out, thank you for what you do, and just keep it up. I'm glad to be a part with you. So thank you for that. And it was nice formally doing a stream with you.
Right on, man. All right, bro. You have a good one. Take care.
See you later.
Later. All right. So I think what I'm going to do, I wanted to make sure that I gave Jenkins all his time. I think he's awesome. Axis, contact me, dude. Contact me, man. I want to talk to you. I've been trying to get a few people to catch up with you, and we haven't been able to. So hit me up in Telegram or something. Gary wanted to come in and say something, but I wanted to make sure Jenkins got all his time. Gary, check out your Telegram. I just sent that to you if you want to come in and drop that bomb on us. Gary's got a bomb, guys, and he wants to drop it. So let's see if Gary's still up and watching. So let's see. No, Jenkins is not taking Joker's spot. Joker has 4:00 p.m. on Thursdays, and Jenkins will be at 7:00 p.m. So they'll be running one after the other. So it'll be Joker at 4, and then Jenkins will be coming on at 7. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Captain saved a lot of Hexicans from FUD. Hey, Amine, thank you. Hey, Hexy Babe, I haven't seen you before, or maybe I'm just blind, but good to have you in here. Not often that we have ladies of Hex, but we've got a handful of them. I haven't seen Blaze's video too. I should have watched that. She was on Maddie Allen's show, and by the way, Maddie Allen is going to be also streaming on Discourse Syndicate Network. I'm going to give Gary like a few more minutes and see if he comes on. Gary, you coming on or what? Let me hit him one more time here. Shit. All right. And no, let's see. Send one more message. No, I wasn't. We weren't FUDing. We were just going over the numbers. I think conservatively, I like to speak conservatively here about running the numbers up to about 12 cents, 10 to 12 cents by the launch of Pulse. That's just kind of my conservative thoughts of what's going to happen. Not financial advice, but I've seen a few cycles of Hex before, and I think it's definitely possible, especially with what we've been seeing. Gary's chilling in his hot tub. You chilling, Gary? Or are you coming, man? Somebody hit Gary up. Call him on the phone. Hold on, let me see. Watch this. Let's see. Where is he? There he is. Hey, Gary, you coming on stream? All right, later. There he is. Funding Jim coming onto the stream. Sound like maybe he was asleep. I hope I didn't wake him up or anything. He's feeding grapes to his girlfriend. Probably, man. Probably. Gary's lived an enchanted life, let's just say. He has definitely done that. Oh, your RG, your shark looks like it was swimming in Fukushima. Yeah, man. You know, when you draw on your phone on the chart, it never does what you really want it to. So that's why they always turn out like that. And on top of that, I'm not an artist, and you know, it's not easy thing to do. So that's why my big titty formation looked horrible and everything else. So yeah, it's not easy to do that. Just using your phone. I should probably try and like do one on the computer and make it a nicer deal. Anyway, I should make my charts NFTs. Can I do that? I should, huh? I should make them NFTs. One of you motherfuckers probably already stole them, huh? Those are my NFTs, not yours. It's like something that you don't have, but you think you have the only one of that you don't have. It's stupid, but there's got to be other use cases for NFTs other than what people have been using them for. Anyway. All right. He said he's coming, so we'll give it a couple of minutes here. Anybody else have questions? Any of you new folks in there have some questions? Please feel free to ask them. We don't, hey, T-Bird, what's up? So T-Bird fucking crazy as fuck, man. He went out and got himself a fucking jailhouse hex tattoo. That was fucking gangster, bro. That's cool, man. You're fucking marred for life. Because so I claim coining the name Hexican. So when I saw it on somebody's arm, man, I was like, the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do to that poor guy? But anyway, it was cool, bro. I'm proud, and you're a crazy motherfucker for getting a hex. Oh shit, that's funny shit, bro. You tattooers, man. I mean, I'm all inked up myself, but most of my shit's hidden. I don't show it for certain reasons. But anyway, yeah, you guys that are all inked up now with hex tattoos, that's freaking cool, man. That's cool. Anything can happen. Hold on a second. There he is. There's Gary. Let me pull Gary up here. Gary tried to tattoo on his own leg too one time. That was pretty funny. He actually he was getting too much wine in one night, and we were having a tattoo giveaway, and fucking Gary started sticking himself with a fucking ink pen and a needle. Oh, there he is.
Hell yeah, I did. I'll do it right now.
Hey, again.
Do it right now. Where's that fucking ski cat? 2 million hex or whatever it was? God damn.
2 million hex. Freaking Gary it didn't take fucking 5 minutes, and Gary was sending me pictures of him stabbing himself with ink pen.
I was like, hey, this razor blade ain't gonna hurt that much. I can heal from shit before, you know.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen, man. When you sent me that picture,
I was trying to peck it out, and then I took like pen ink and I was like, let's make it darker. let's see if I can get it embedded in there. Will this count? And that was New Year's Eve. I think that was New Year's Eve.
It was New Year's Eve, so you were all freaking tossed and shit. And
man, I was like, yeah, let's just numb it up a little bit and let's go. Yeah, that's all it was.
Oh man, that was great. That was great. That was definitely a moment in Hex. That's for sure.
Yeah,
there are a few real memorable moments, and that was one of them.
I was fast and furious. I was trying to get Hexologist's attention, your attention. I was like, motherfuckers, I'm cutting myself. Come on, look at this shit.
Motley was doing the same thing, man. He was ready to start freaking inking himself and shit, and he's like trying to find a guy that would do a tattoo in the middle of the night and shit. It was just like, it's just one of those things, man. But
one of those things.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to mention. Again, I don't know, you guys don't like to talk about too much about government or taxes, stuff that I'm interested in. You should talk to the audience should, anybody should. You should talk to your CPA, because if you have any kind of stock gains, stocks did a lot of things this year too. A lot of people that are in the Robinhood apps, a lot of people that are the Steph Grahams and the Meet Kevins and things like that follow those influencing. They say, hey, I'm going to do the GameStop thing. I'm going to do the silver short thing, whatever, right? There's people that you could talk to right now that have nothing to do with Hex, but they had gains. They should talk to their CPA, because if you're wanting to offset gains and you are curious about crypto, you are curious about this Hexican Hex, Richard Hart delivering on promises he made back in 2019, and they've heard that narrative, they might be curious because in 2021, they have capital gains. If they sell real estate, they have capital gains. I'm in the middle of selling a $2.4 million house. So I'm going to have capital gains because as a Act 2022 Puerto Rican guy, the only capital gains I'm not exempt from is real estate. And real estate sale, I have an exemption of a certain percent, a certain dollar amount, things like 250K, because I'm a single person, one time in a lifetime kind of thing or whatever. I'm trying to do other things like 1031 exchange and stuff like that too, to be smart about it. But if you, again, talk to your CPA, it's not financial advice, I'm not a CPA. My CPAs are telling me this as well. If you have gains you want to offset from the sale of anything during 2021, the calendar year 2021, and you do contribute to the SINS Foundation, up to 20% of your capital gains can be reduced because you did a donation to a 503c, and the 503c counts with SINS. So Aubrey, I have heard through grapevine, people have direct messaged me that talked directly to Aubrey today, and he is willing to have a Zoom meeting. He's had Zoom meetings in the past with anybody that donates 100 grand or more. So that's an interesting thing that you should talk to your CPA based on your jurisdiction, your document trail, your proof. There's different reasons why you might want to, and there's different reasons why you might not want to. But it is an interesting onboarding potential because it's just a political statement. All of the caveats about don't expect that this is going to be money as far as the airdrop potential. When it lands as an airdrop, it is zero value. So there's all kinds of things that are protecting you if you document it well, that it was a genuine donation. It offsets or reduces your capital gains for the tax year 2021 to participate in Pulse. So again, that's an interesting conversation to be had for people that might say, hey, in 21, I'm going to sell my house. And 21, I did sell stock, or I'm going to exit a position in stock. Or if you're going to exercise an option, like maybe you were hired and you have a 5-year vesting period for one of these Silicon Valley companies, when you come vested and you have the option to buy stock at an all-time high for 21, and you were vested 5 years ago, you're going to have significant gains on that as well. And it's interesting that you could realize those gains effectively, sort of, because you're getting a ledger entry of a potential airdrop. You're part of an airdrop group, right? So again, talk to your lawyer if you're in that position, or talk to your CPA. Or Aubrey has said that he will do a Zoom call with the SINS Foundation CPA on the line to speak with people that are potentially would donate to SINS. He's done it before. If you do 100 grand or more, he'll do a direct call. So that's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah. I'm going to consider that because I need to talk to my CPA.
Yeah, you got to talk to your CPA, and I'm not going to be available. I'm going to be talking to people, and this is one of the this is just an opener, just like you have those openers when you're going to ask a pretty girl for her number. They're openers, and inside of your circle of financial, influential, business kind of people, because a lot of us are entrepreneurial, and we have the same kinds of clicks, whether they're involved with crypto or they're not. They think similarly, and it's a great opener, honestly, as far as a potential of offsetting tax, because a lot of people don't want their tax money to go to everything that the government decides. They want to at least direct where their money goes to. And that's what you're doing when you're doing a tax deduction. When you're doing a charitable, it's not that you're escaping taxes. You're still paying. You are paying. You're simply funneling it where you care for it to go. So if you say, hey, I believe in global warming, I believe in saving the rhinos of Africa, I believe in some particular cause, you're simply directing the monies that would otherwise go to the coffer of a government, local, state, federal, and instead of it going to their decision making about where those monies get distributed, you're making that decision, and that's what a tax deduction really means.
Yeah. Good way to a good way to take control of your funds and where they go and what you're supporting.
Yeah.
Another political statement, basically.
It's a political statement. I mean, it's another political statement. You're right. And it actually is. And so that's something to mention. And then the other thing, I don't know if you could see it. Did I send that? I sent that link to you. I want to play that if it's possible. Did you see that?
Did you throw it in Telegram?
Yeah, it's in Telegram and it's on a YouTube page. And if you play it, you should be able to just put it in a tab. And it's just a 30-second. It's that 30-second thing. I want to talk about that for a moment. It's the one that has the big Superman picture. It's in the Telegram.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, let me pull it up.
Yeah, and add the sound to it.
Oh, I know what I got to do. Hold on.
Yeah, it's separate tab and add audio.
Oh, I got it. For some reason, I've got to pull the link out. I've got something funky going on with my browser here. Hold on. Pull link. Put it in there. Yeah, give it to me. There we go. Okay.
That was a good chat. That was I listened to almost all of your conversation. I just didn't hear the part where you're wrapping up, but that was a good chat. Yeah,
he's great, man. Jenkins is a real good at the fundamentals of the charts and looking at. I mean, we've got a bunch of them in Hex. I mean, these guys are just freaking top. What's cool is we've attracted some of the best. You know what I mean? Because these guys get it. They saw it early, and they were able to see. There it is. Chrome tab, right? There it is.
Yeah.
YouTube audio, and let's bring it up. Okay, let me open that up first. There we go. And share screen. Okay. So it's got some.
Nice. So that's a little 30-second tiny little video. And basically it's what you've seen. It's the card that you've held up a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, again, Coffee and I are meeting. There's 500 of us in the audience. There's 14 panelists. So it's a great ratio as far as who's speaking versus who's learning or gathering the information or whatever. And these guys are macroeconomics people, real estate related people, gold, silver people, influencers really in the economic realm that has truthfully a lot more reach than crypto does. As far as like the YouTube algorithms and things like that. So Robert Kiyosaki, I think he has around 2 million followers on Twitter, on YouTube. I mean, he's probably the most influential of the speakers. George Gammon's pretty influential. He's around 320,000 people and enough respect by this community that they decided to be part of this Rebel Capitalist live thing that we're going to. And what I did was very similar to what the Hexicans, I'm trying to do for the Hexicans, is make these little physical cards that are, high quality, great graphics that have one side, if someone wants something branded, then one side, like the Discourse Syndicate, is all of the stuff that is your brand and your control, and you decide what goes on. When their phone comes close to your card, then your stuff loads. If someone wants to learn about Hex, then there's going to be a community page, and the community page is what I'm in control of because I generated this second half, this other QR side, and that has Discourse Syndicate because they're the #1 YouTube Hexican. Hexologist has been terrific, but he's more of a Twitch guy now. So he dominates in the Twitch for Hexicans. You dominate in YouTube for Hexicans. This other guy, Super Hex Win, dominates in TikTok, right? So there's platform stuff. And if you look in the YouTube video, I don't know if you can see it, but underneath there's a link. There's only one link, and it says "Gifting You Hex /Hex Crypto." If you click on that, and it opens up that tab page, I want to show you what I'm talking about.
I don't have that. Hold on a second.
I'll pull it.
Yep.
Hang on a minute. Copy. Control D. It was just a short link, so just click on that or open that other one.
There we go. Share that. I got to double do this twice. Hold on a second. Bringing the show to a screeching halt. There we go. And Chrome tab. Where is it? There it is. And we'll share that. There. That one?
Yeah. So basically what this is, your particular brand, should you choose to, that can be all graphic and pretty like this page is. This page is the Hex Crypto link, and it goes to stuff that I can put up there, but I'm only putting in module sections. So the top module, the top area is only Hex related. As you're scrolling down, you're seeing that videos are embedded. What that means is if you click on one of those videos, it never takes you outside of your cell phone. It never opens up YouTube app. It never takes you outside of the web page to go to some other thing and get lost or get distracted. And so the top section is really specifically only Hex. The second section is specifically Richard, but Richard only puts stuff on YouTube and his Twitter pretty much. I mean, he has other things like a Twitch channel, but nothing that really gets posted. And then you can see the secret to earning Hex. These are all basically explainers that we like. A lot of Hexicans like because they're animated and they inform. And then you can see, slide up just a little bit. You can see Twitch right there where Hexologist was. So Hexologist right there in that section. So Hexologist, he is the dominant Hexican that really only talks one topic. He talks about Hex. Other people, they might be generating views, but their views are not Hex-centric. They are talking about other crypto and other topics and things like that. So I don't want to really promote that as much on the Hex-specific channel. So Hexologist is Hex. You talk about all kinds of topics, but you don't really talk in depth about other crypto products. So again, I think of you as dominant in the YouTube space specific to Hex or Pulse. And then the same thing with the TikTok guy. So as you slide down underneath where it has obviously the rewind, the next section after that would be like music. Anybody that steps up to the plate and says, hey, Freddie does great music, but I want to throw some music in here too. Then if the community is agreeing and they like a particular song or anthem or whatever that comes out, then that'll be like the Hex music, like the Post Polar's 10,000X song, that got really catchy or things like that. So that's what my intention is. I would like it to be a little bit competitive because even though we all watch different streamers and they all kind of are a core of Hex enthusiasts, I think that we should be dethroned. I think that the people, there should be always competition to basically bring better information or more current information, accurate information, revered information to 20,000 people, 50,000 people as the community grows. So even though right now, Crypto, Coffee, myself, you, RG3, we are kind of looked at like the old guard, bringing everyday information or every other day or building a network. And I think it kind of goes along with your development of Discourse Syndicate into a network instead of one or two or three guys that regularly stream, right?
Yes.
So that's really the evolution I'm trying to do is with this. One is it's the back of the phone. It's the Popple stuff that I talk about that I show all the time, right? It's the brand of Hex, but it's technology. I've basically hijacked. So a lot of the stuff is sort of off the shelf. I bought something that all major hotels use, but they don't buy themselves. They have a printed physical card that has a NFC encoder built into it, and they buy that from a third-party vendor. So whenever you go to a hotel, whether it's the Venetian or the Excalibur or whatever it is in Vegas or Miami, most of the time you're getting one of the same cards that I'm printing. It's a $5,000 printer, so it's not like it's you're not going to go to Target and pick one of these things up. And the shortcuts I'm trying to do is trying to make it as easy as possible for the guy that doesn't want to be on camera, the guy that doesn't really feel confident to explain how shares work and what is all of the ins and outs of the potential, the particular encoding and solidity and all the stuff that we end up talking about in technical that bogs people down. So I want to have something in people's hands. And so if you're going to the Hex Vegas meetup, I printed 250 cards and 250 cards for Maddie, and on that card, built into that card, is exactly what I'm talking about. So everybody that goes to Vegas will have a generic thing that he is using for admission to the different things that he's organized for the Hex Vegas event. So you're going to get a card. And outside of that card, if people want, and they do want to be influential, they do want to build their own brand, they do want to talk about things and build audience, however they decide to parlay that in the future. I don't think there's a better way than starting with Hex. Build your Hex channel, build your YouTube, your Twitch, your Twitter. Almost instantly, you can get 1,000 views. You can get 1,000 subscribers and launch your identity in the internet based on being honest and truthful about what Hex has done for you or done for others. And from that pivot point, maybe in 6 months, you say, hey, I want to talk about traveling in South America. I mean, that's what Abit does. That's what Ryan does. Maybe you want to talk about restoring, classic Volkswagen trucks, right? That can be a pivot point. That can change your direction of your brand. And I've talked about this with Valiant Brand. The same thing is he has done terrific with trended data, uniformity. His name isn't the easiest to spell, but now everybody knows he's Valiant Brand. And does he have TikTok, YouTube, Twitter? Everything is the same name. So he's actually building brand identity based on his name, whereas we kind of like jump around a little bit with our spelling, or here is what you call me there, and here's what you call me over here on this platform. Somebody beat me to the punch. It's all that shit, right? So I'm trying to make it easier for people to basically launch their social influence. And there's things that are built into this tool that you guys don't even know about. Most of you don't. Like, when someone says, find me on Twitter, there's code that you can build into that link itself that defaults to tell the person that just clicked on your link for Twitter, or to ask them, would you like to follow? And you follow right then. It's automatically prompted. The same thing. Hey, go to find me on YouTube as Discourse_Syndicate. Okay, well, how about just click this link, and then instantly when it's loading it in the background, your YouTube video or your channel, it's also asking you on your cell phone, do you want to subscribe? Instantly. You don't have to tell people. It helps to build faster onboarding. So I've built code specifically into the HTML links the same sort of way on this app. So I'm doing that. And so, I made cards for Robert Kiyosaki that I'm at the event for. I've got swag bags of leather wallets and, very attractive graphics. And, they're going to have a popple. It won't be the hex.com one because I don't want them to only think, oh, this is a Hex thing. It is going to their URL for their content. So it's going to Rich Dad. It's going to George Gammon. It's going to Rick Rule, these people. It's going to their content. And I think that that's a great inroad to a space that's outside of just the crypto influence or our niche, right? So I'm trying to talk to the people outside of crypto more than ever.
Good. Great onboarding tool. Right on, man. Well, I hate to cut us short, but my mom's in town and I'm in her room now.
Nice. I love what she's done with the place. She's made it beautiful, just like the ship. Okay.
My wife has been texting me going, "Are you done yet? You ain't done with that shit."
Family stuff, man.
Yeah, it's cool. This is her first time out without dad, so it's kind of an odd deal. But yeah, so we're heading out for the weekend. I'm gonna go kick it with mom, and so I won't be on the Friday night hangout. So all you guys need to jump in here and take charge and take over and be part of Friday night hangout. I won't be here, but I will see you guys all back on Monday. Thanks for coming in, Gary. And everybody, if you want to find out more about these, hit Gary up, or you can see Maddie. If you're going to the Vegas event, you can see Maddie, and I think he has 250 of these, so he can help set you up there. So either contact Maddie or contact Gary, and they can tell you more about it and get you all the links and stuff so you can check it out. All right, my brother. Thanks for coming on, man. Catch up with all you guys later.
Ciao.
Have a good one.
See you.